Hey everybody, it is Connie with the Artisan Company and welcome back to the channel. Yes, it is another beautiful day. I'm just so stoked about it, and I'm also stoked to go see what is on the desk for today. So let's go. All right, everybody, this is what's on the plate today. We're going to do a little bit of a easy project, but one that just looks really fun once it's finished. And we're going to be working with some leather. I know a lot of you like to work with leather, so we're doing a simple leather necklace that, again, you can do this with your eyes closed if you just really focus. Okay, so what we have today is, you can see I've got this group of leather lacing, and this is deer lacing. I found this at Hobby Lobby is where I found this. It's 1/8 inch thick, and you can see, and I use a lot of deer lacing because I do a lot of Native American style things, so I'm always buying this. And this was very inexpensive. It was about $16, $16 at Hobby Lobby, and so I picked it up because I hardly ever buy turquoise lacing, and I just thought it was fun, and I thought, hey, let's get that. So deer lacing, 1/8 of an inch. The next thing I got, and also, just so you'll know, because I went to Michael's and Hobby Lobby yesterday, and in my personal thought, now you may think totally differently, and that's cool, but in my personal thought, I think if you're looking for things like this, uh, Hobby Lobby's probably the better selection of things like this. But if you're looking for stones and crystals and things like that, I think Michael's is the better choice if you're going to a box store to pick something up. Just my thought. So, but this came from Hobby Lobby as well, and it's about a 70-inch, millimeter across this way. So I got that. Then I've got these little guys, and I got these from Fire Mountain, and they're about a 10, 15 millimeter. Let's see here. I forgot. This one's almost 20. See, I was telling you. But anyway, same here. So these are about a 20 millimeter long little pewter, antique gold pewter finish on it. So those. And then I've got a series of jump rings. This is a 4 to 5 millimeter. This one right here is a 6 millimeter. This one is a 7 millimeter, and this one is an 8 to 10 millimeter. Then in my beads, I have all large hole because you're going to be stringing leather. So I've got a 10 millimeter large hole copper accent bead, and I love these. They've got crosses on them. You can probably see them. I'll turn them around here. Maybe Ken can zoom in on that. You can see it's got a little cross on it. Isn't that just lovely? And I bought these at a bead show. So, but you can use any kind of decorative accent beads. So I've got two of those. This is a 6 millimeter large hole copper, a 5 millimeter kind of an antiqued brass kind of bead. I have a beautiful copper lobster claw clasp, kind of an antiqued copper. And then I've got a couple of different leather crimps. This one is a large one. It's about a 12 millimeter long and about a 6 millimeter wide. This one is a 10 millimeter long and about a 5 millimeter wide leather crimps. So that's what I've got. So let's get our head wrapped around it and we'll get started. Okay, so what I did was I measured out my leather here, my lacing, to be at 23 inches doubled, which is going to make this about a 46-inch long necklace, because I want this cross to hit almost at the belly button. Now, you don't have to do that. You can make this any length you want to make it. You don't have to use any of this stuff. You can just do a piece of leather if you want to do that. That is strictly up to you. But this is just a simple design that you can put together pretty quickly and have a new piece of jewelry to walk out the door with. So what I did was I went ahead and I measured out 3 strands of the leather, all the same length. I've got them clipped up here so that I can keep them even, but you can see that I've evened up the ends on this end. So I'm going to pull this down, and I'm going to even up. See, I've got a few little, where I cut it, it's just a little uneven there, and there. But I'm going to pull it down again just to make sure that I am keeping the length right all the way around so that I can clip off the ends down here evenly. Now there's, you can do this any way you want to do it. This is just how I'm doing it to make sure all the ends are the same. Okay, and then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to clip those off evenly. That. And then I'm going to clip each end at an angle because you're going to have to bead it. So I'm kind of making a little wedge on the end of each one of those pieces like that. We've done this before. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to string the cross first. We're going to get it down to the center of the leather. So we're going to pull that through there like so. And I'm going to clip this in because they're all even. So I'm going to try to make sure that they stay that way. So I don't have to keep going back and forth. I can get my little clipper do out of here. I was looking at all the fancy little clips yesterday when I was in the box stores to clip off your to hold your stuff with. I was laughing. I was like, oh my gosh, I just used just a plain old clip that you can get at Walmart or whatever. All right, so what I'm doing now is I'm pulling all this down. I know I'm out of the screen a little bit every now and then because this is a lot of leather to work with. And so it doesn't always all fit in the screen. Okay, I'm going to shake this out to make sure it's all level. All right, I need to pull down the cross a little more, trying to even up these ends. This is not difficult, guys. It's just takes a little time. All right, so I've got it down to the center like so. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 beads and string them on to each side of these 3 strands. Okay, so I've got clipped this down here so this wouldn't move because this is right at the center right here. So I clipped that. But anyway, I made sure I had the little edges slivered on the side there so it's easy to thread. I'm going to take one of my big cross beads. And let's see here. I think I'll do him this way. And you're going to string that through there like that. And if you'll push it and turn it at the same time, you'll have an easier chance of getting it threaded. All right. And then you're just going to push that all the way down to where the bail of that cross is right there. There's the bail. And you're going to push this down right to it. Okay. And we'll clip that one right there so that it doesn't move. And then we're going to go to this side and do the same thing. So let me unhook these. I'm pulling my leather taut so I can make sure all the ends are together. All right. I feel like I'm all over the map camera wise today, so I'm really sorry, guys. This is really long, so it's kind of hard to keep everything centered. Uh, I should have backed up, but it's okay. It's all good. We're in the middle of it now. All right, so we're going to pull that one down all the way to the end. Pull all your leather pieces through. Make sure nothing's all jumbled up in there. You want it all pulled out. All right, so at this juncture, it should look like this. Aren't these just the most fun things? And don't, this right here, these beads right here, don't put them so tight up against that veil that it can't breathe. You know, I'm a stickler about things having room to breathe, and this is another one of those. So it's okay if you see a little turquoise right through there. That's okay. It's going to be pulled in right down here with all these greenish turquoise colors there. But that way your cross has room to breathe and everything like that. Okay, so I'm going to clip this side tight right up next to that bead, like so, so that this doesn't move. And then I'm going to take these 3 strands and I'm just going to do a basic, simple, overhanded knot. Nothing that you haven't done before tying your shoe. Okay. Trying to figure out the best way to do it here. All right. So I'm pulling these where I don't have any bumps in excess. I'm going to take these 3 strands, come around my finger just like this, pull them under and through. All right, and I'm trying to even everything up really well before I pull it tight. And you can take a tool like this if you want to. This is a really heavy duty needle, but I'm just sticking it here so that I can pull this tight to the bead. All right, and I've got it down there. Pull that out and then just pull it with your finger. Smash it down. It's just going to be a big old knot right there. All right, and if you want to turn these little threads, you can, but you don't have to. All right, so you got one knot on that side. I'm going to take these off. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Pull them down. Wrap it around your fingers like that. Nothing complicated. It's like tying your shoe. The only thing complicated is the fact that you've got 3 strands going instead of 1. All right. We're going to pull that down. All right. There we go. All right. So it should look like this at this juncture. Just like that. Okay. All right. Next phase. Okay. The next thing we're doing is we're going to do just a random pattern of beads on each side of this necklace. I'm going to work on maybe this side first. So I'm going to lay this over here, kind of like that. Just kind of pull it out of the way a little bit. And you have 3 strands. So I'm going to put 3 crosses on here, just random places. So I'm going to take the little smaller leather crimp. And if you'll notice on the little leather crimp, and we've looked at these before, they have a little hole right here on the top. You can see it right here. Maybe I've got it turned right, but you can see that little hole right there. that little hole right there is going to hold your jump ring, and that's what's going to connect your cross onto the necklace. So what I did was is I went ahead and laid out my crosses were different weights and visually different weights. And I'm going to put these right here so you can see. So this one's a lighter weight in look. This one's next, and this one's the heavier weight. So I started the lighter weight at the top, did the medium weight in the middle, and the heavier weight at the bottom. So I'm kind of looking at this here. I'm going to put the heavier weight on first. So I'm just picking a spot, and you don't have to do any of this. You can just make it plain if you want to. It's endless. I'm going to take this little eye on here, and I'm going to bend it out or up, should I say, just up a little bit. So it's going to look like this. I don't know if you can see it or not, but instead of it being straight out, it's kind of bent towards my hand here. Okay. All right. And you're going to face that little thing downward. Going to face it down. I don't know if you can see it or not. This is proving to be a little more complicated than filming than other things. Then you're going to close up your crimp. One side down and flat, and the other side down. Ooh, this is a tough little puppy. All right, and then I'm going to flatten it like that, so it should look like that. And this little guy should be sticking up. This little thing right here should be sticking up off the leather, because you're going to have to put a jump ring in there, and you don't want the cross to be laying flat and the jump ring to be laying flat on the leather. So what does it do? It gives it room to breathe. Gotta have it breathing. All right, so the next one will be on the next piece of leather, and let's just pick one randomly. Doesn't matter. I'll bend my little guy up here. Man, this is some strong, sturdy metal. Wow. All right, so I'm just going to pick this one. And I'm going to close the leather crimp up. Mash it down. There it goes. All right, pull it tight so you can kind of see where you are. All right, and the next one, we'll put on this piece of leather. Blend it out here just to make sure I'm not duplicating anything on top of anything. And we're going to put this little guy on this piece, and let's just put it about right there. Oops. Okay. Pull it tight so I can kind of make sure. What do I always say? Check and check often. That is what I'm doing. I'm checking and checking often to make sure I'm not on the same piece of leather and make sure I'm spaced enough. All right, we're going to close this one up. Keep picking up the wrong tool. Oh. Hope you guys have been having a great day today. Still getting ready for that art show coming up in less than 10 days, and I'm beating it trying to get some things finished. Okay. All right, so that's clamped down. All right, so we have three places. This, and this is going to go here. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your little 4 millimeter jump ring, 4 to 5 millimeter jump ring. You're going to open that up. And I chose black on this because I wanted to pull in a little black for the distinction of the color. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to do the bottom one first, the heavier looking cross that looks like it's heavier. I have to open that up a little bit more. Oh, it went on. Okay. Yay. Ah! Had it go in there. I dropped it. Boy, I can barely see this. I'm going to have to get me some new glasses, guys, because I'm using a magnifying glass. And I'm still having trouble seeing. Sorry. All right, got it on there. There's your first one that dangles. Okay. The next one. I'm going to go right here. Get on there, little guy. Get on there, little guy. Let me go. Oh, I see now. I got a little whoppy jawed leather crimp there. That's why it wasn't going on. I'm going to close that one up. All right, that one's on there. Oh, I'm loving this already. This is so much fun. Okay, and the last one right here on this side. This is so exciting, guys. It's just like, oh, I'm so excited. It's such a fun little project. It's not difficult. It's just fun. Just a fun. Uh-oh, that one doesn't look good. Let's get another one. Let's get another one and open it. There it goes. All right, so I'm going to hook it on this one. My lighter weight little cross on the top there. Lose it up. There we go. All right, so we've got this side done with the crosses. All right, the next thing we're going to do with these little guys is add a little decoration. Okay, adding a little decoration now to this little section right here. And so you can see I did the first one. I added the larger copper bead, and then I added the burnished brass bead on the top of that. Okay, so these next two, going to do the exact same thing. Light out of the way here. Add your larger bead first. Pull it down to the top of that crimp, and then add your smaller bead next. And all of these beads are large hole because you can't get this leather through an itty bitty hole. Okay, you got to have a large hole bead. All right, the next one, the next strand rather, pull it down, and then we're going to add the brass bead. This is so much fun. Okay, so this is what yours should look like at this juncture. You hold on to them all. Is this not the most fun? Oh my goodness, just so fun. They're going to hang like this. Okay, I am going to do this other side and then I'll be back. Okay, here we are in the progress of things. Gotten both sides with all the little dangly crosses. You don't have to use crosses. You can use anything that you want to use as far as a charm. Doesn't matter. You can do just beads. It doesn't matter. It's endless. So you do you. Okay, I'm just showing you an option. Let me put it that way. Okay, so we've got these done, and they just dangle so beautifully. Look at this. I love it. I'm just loving it. Oh my. Okay. So I went ahead and I did one side just to expedite time. I went ahead and put the half of the clasp on. And you can see this is the large, right here, the large leather crimp. And I put all 3 pieces of leather up in the top of it. I held on to the little eye right here with just a itty tiny bit of leather underneath my fingernail there to hold it. And then I closed it up like I do the smaller ones. And I added my jump ring. This is what's going to connect to the other piece of clasp. I'll get it out in a minute. Okay, so with that, let me move this little guy over here. Sorry, guys, so much of this has been in and out of the screen this time. I'm really sorry. Okay, so you're going to take your whole entire piece, lay it taut, and you're going to hold on to your centerpiece at the bottom, this piece right here. You're going to hold on to it, pull it down and tight because you don't want any buckles in the leather. Continue to pull it down and hold it tight up here with this finger until you get to the top. And I'm holding it here so that I make sure everything is even, and it is. If for some reason it is not even, just clip it off. It's just fine to do that. And then I'm going to clip off the little pointy things to make it flat, like that. And then I'm taking all 3 of these, and I am going to lay them inside the little leather crimp. I think I'm ready for my coffee. I've been working almost every day except Sunday on projects, so I'm probably a little brain dead. Then I'm going to take something and push that down in there real good so that it's pretty flat inside there. All right. I'll turn it because I'm right-handed, so. And you can see that little piece right there. That's what I'm holding. This little piece right here is what I'm holding with my fingernail right above that, underneath that eye. That way it holds it in place while I'm crimping the sides. That nice and tight. Sometimes I do this too, sometimes, to push it down in there like that. All right, we're going to close her up. One side. The other side's always the harder one. And there it goes. I'm going to take a flat nose and flatten it pretty good. All right. And if you have any excess like this, you can clip it off if you want to. I clip off usually a little bit of it if it's sticking way out. All right. And one of the tricks you can do is if you don't want this part of it showing, this part right here, if you don't want this part showing, then depending on the color of your leather or your clasp here, it doesn't matter which, you can take a colored marker, permanent marker, and just dab that right there on the top to change it to a darker color, and you won't notice it. So let me see here. It won't be quite as noticeable, but it really doesn't matter. You can do either thing. I usually do, if it's a really bright color like this, I generally dot it to take care of the brightness on the end. Got a little bit right there. All right, that's that one. Get to this side right here. Almost done. Just got to put the clasp on, guys. One more little dot right there. And I picked the brown because of the bronzy colored clasp that I was using. All right, so there you go. You can see that it's toned down. You can't see it now. It looks like part of the clasp, more like part of the clasp. All right, last thing we're going to do here is put this part of the clasp on. And some of you may be wondering why I'm using a burnished copper rather than the burnished brass clasp on here. And I'm also using a black jump ring. I have mixed the metal colors in this necklace intentionally to give it more interest. There it goes right there. To give it more interest. And it needed just a little touch of black. Actually, I could probably put some more black. Oh, look at this. Look at this, guys. This is just so much fun. Let me untangle that right there. Oh my goodness, look. How fun is this? It's hard for you to see, I know, because we got a lot going on here. But look how fun. Oh my goodness. And this will hang down almost to the belly button. Fall coming up. This will be fantastic for fall sweaters. I just don't know what else to say about that but that. But what I was saying about the mixed metal colors is it does give it interest. And because this piece had some mixture in it as well and mixtures of colors, it gave it a little more oomph. I could go back also, and I might do it still, but even right here, a little touch of black right there would make all of that sing. And you know what? I think I'm gonna do that. So I'll probably take a black jump ring of some kind, and let's look here. Let's just do it. Okay, let me get my eyes down here. I'm taking this little 4 or 5 millimeter jump ring, and I'm just going to add it to the top of the leather. Now, if you have a black large hole bead that will slide on here, that would be even more perfect. And this little guy, I don't know, I may move up to the next size, but let's just see here what we got. I'm really excited about this necklace. Yeah, it'll be in the show because we have some bohemian type people that are friends of mine who like to see this type of stuff. So, all right, there's my little black jump ring. I'm going to push it right down, right on top of that. And yes, it did make a difference. Absolutely. Even though it's small, you can still see it. It does bring the black in right here. A black bead will work. Actually, a black bead would be the perfect thing. But if you don't have that, what do you have? And I had some jump rings, and I thought I'd just add that to it. So I'm going to go back and do that on every one of these. But you guys have a great rest of your day. Well, I'm going to give you a quick update. Okay, remember we were talking about adding black? I decided to add more black as I got going, and I'm going to show you what I did. And some of you may love this and some of you may not, but this is what I did. I really did want more black. So I went back and I added in between, because I didn't have any black large hole beads, so I added in between these two beads a black jump ring, and then I added a smaller black jump ring on the top right there, which gives it just a little more definition, and that's what I was looking for. Okay, and then down here, I even went a little step further down here on the bottom. So what I did was I added in between the bail and the copper bead here, I added a black jump ring right in there just to give it a little darkness. And then I added 4 large jump rings on the top of each one of these knots. So here's where the effect, you can see how it changes the black. It brings out some of the black in here. It gives the turquoise a little more pop, the copper a little more pop, and this is one happy mama. Okay, so I did get it finished. I did do the update, but I just thought I would let you know what I did on it. You don't have to do any of this. You may have your own ideas of what you want to make and make this look like. So there you go. Y'all have a good one.